Yeah. Can you say everyone makes mistakes? What's up, guys? Uh, Playing something different tonight. Something that I don't really play too often. Um, Took me a little while to get used to the feel of the guitar. Um, if you're one of the people that really subscribed, one of the first people that subscribed to this channel, you recognize this guitar. This is the guitar, my very first review. Um, Ordered it from Firefly because of all the hype I heard about Firefly. And I wanted to see what all the hype was about and to see if YouTube was just, BS. uh, I think I'm going to change my tune on some things, guys. I've been trying to be overly polite and not to upset certain people. And I've taken a little bit of time at my job, and I've went back and I've kind of looked at some of my, first videos and my thought process on how I was then. And I think I've kind of muted myself a little bit over the last year, and I shouldn't do that. I should say exactly what's on my mind. And it doesn't really matter if I upset somebody. We're all big boys here. We put our big boy panties on, and we should be able to take criticism from other people, ideas, points of views, and just their general opinion, if that makes sense. And that's kind of, not what this channel's about, because it's kind of not, how do I say it? It's not about my opinion. It's about when I do a review, what I see. But we're all biased. It doesn't matter. You can pick up the world's best guitar, and if you don't bond with it, it's just not going to be for you. If that makes sense, you're not going to. You may not play that guitar as well as one that's manufactured to a lesser quality. If you bond with it, if that kind of makes sense. That has nothing to do with this guitar. I'm just rooting back to how I've been approaching things. So if you see some differences, I think I'm going to go back to my first review when I opened up this box. This was one of the worst guitars I'd ever played in my life. It really was. It was a horrible guitar out of the box. But it gave me a tremendous amount of content because my first two or three videos on this guitar was how do you fix one of these budget guitars on a budget? And I went through the first time and addressed all the issues with the guitar with spending the bare amount of money. And the reason I bring this up is we just did Steve's guitar. I sent Steve's guitar out today. And it kind of reminded me that you can do things on a budget. You know, not everyone has $200 to put into a set of pickups. Not everyone can necessarily replace their potentiometers or put a cap on a guitar or put tuning keys on a guitar. So when they receive one of these instruments, what can they do to it in its stock form to make it as good as possible? And that's what the first group of videos was on this guitar. Of course, I didn't leave it alone. I took the guitar back apart and then I said, okay, what can you do with this guitar if you spend the amount of money that you spent on the guitar in parts? And that was the rule. I couldn't spend more in parts than I spent on the guitar itself. And it worked out fine. I did eventually spend a little bit more, and the grand total on this guitar was like really close to $600. And it's it's just a phenomenal playing instrument now. There is nothing fireflying on this guitar. All the fret rework and the rework on the back of the neck. It has hip shot tuners on it. It has a go-to locking nut. It has an upgraded one of my bridges that I built for it with the stainless steel saddles, an upgraded block. You can see the massive block in the back of this. Has an upgraded claw, upgraded Floyd Rose springs, pure tone jack. The only thing stock in the guitar is the switch and the two pickups. That's it. Everything else has been reworked. You know, I've been struggling with that harmonic lately. I don't know why. At one time I was getting really good at hitting it, but the last 4 or 5 times I've been noodling around trying to get that harmonic. I miss it every time. I see Linnell has come in here, and she didn't use her microphone.
Yes, I did.
I can't hear you.
How much time did you put into fixing it?
We're really struggling with the Mackie guys. We had no left channel whatsoever going into the interface tonight. I actually had to switch channels on the Mackie, so the channels are dropping off like dead flies, if that makes sense. I don't want to. The Mackie's 30 years old. It has given me a tremendous amount of service, but we're going to end up having to buy a board. As far as time spent in this guitar, I really can't tell you because the first time, because it was a project guitar for YouTube. So the first time I went through it, I leveled all the frets. Well, I didn't reshape the neck. I think I leveled the frets, and I did everything I could do to the guitar to make it play right. Then we went in and I put hip shot tuners on it, and I think we put a base plate on it and worked on the tremolo. Um, this was a lot of work. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to guess I have probably over 30 hours of labor in this guitar. Now, Firefly has made improvements on this model. This was the uh, second production run. So this was not a first production run guitar. I heard so many good reviews on the first production run. When it come back out on the second production run, I actually ordered three of these guitars. At the time, um, things were a little different then financially. So I was able to sometimes order more than one guitar. I did that with the Leo James. I believe, I don't remember if it was the Monsoon or the Tempest that I ordered two of. So I didn't want to cross the bridge with, well, that's just one guitar. I did it with several guitars, ordered two or three of them, and then did an average. Or I would show the second guitar at the end of the review. Did that with Leo James. I think this one, Mike, one of our moderators, bought one of these off of me, and I had sold the other one on Marketplace, and I ended up keeping this one.
How old are the strings?
How come you are? Oh, now I know why she's not working. Her channel's muted. What did you say?
How old are the strings?
Actually, I just put strings on it. These are fresh. I put these on last night. Played it for about 2 hours last night. Let them stretch. Did I lock it? Yes, I did lock it last night because I did not lock it tonight. I guess I should have checked that before I started beating on the bar. So I played it for about 2 hours last night, locked it down, and picked it up. And the main reason I did it, and the whole reason that I bring this up, is I listed this guitar for sale. And sometimes, no matter what you do to a guitar, I don't care if you buy, let's say you buy a Sir for $4,000 and you put $1,000 on it. Is it going to be worth $5,000? The time and parts and the cost of this guitar, I would need to sell it for, $1,500. I would. I know that sounds insane, but if I was going to make what I make it work, well, it would be more than that at 30 hours. Let's just say I put it on the marketplace for $1,400. It wouldn't sell.
Niles gave a super chat.
Ooh, thank you, Niles. I don't have the chat window open. Ooh, thank you, Niles, for the $5. Just opened up the little chat window. So I did list the guitar. I had planned on keeping it just for sentimental reasons, being that it was the first guitar that started the channel. And I look at it and I go back to, why I started the channel, to offset the. I've been hearing the word shill a lot on Discord. Whether they are or whether they aren't, I have no idea. Who knows? But to offset the always positive review. I mean, we try to be positive here, but it's more about being honest. Okay, if I receive a piece of junk, I'm going to tell you it's a piece of junk. Even when we put on our I want to like it shades, which I did with the PWM, I really wanted to like that guitar. And if you watch it during the review, my attitude kind of changes as I go. And then when the following week I started playing, I was like, okay, this guitar is not that good. Ended up sending it back. Probably my worst experience as far as wanting to like an instrument based on the S model Linnell bought. I paid 3 times the amount of money for the S model that I ordered, and it wasn't even 20% as good as the $450 S model Linnell bought. So that's disheartening. That is. I work hard for my money. So I wanted to get on here and set it right. And of course, then we had the Sweetwater debacle where they tried to put it back in stock, uh, saying that it's never went anywhere. They didn't even list it as open box. And you, the subscribers, and even some non subscribers, called them up and said, this is BS. Avery bought that guitar. It's the same serial number. It's not a new guitar. That guitar is used, listed as open box, and show the defects. And it went off the site for probably a week, and then they relisted the guitar as open box. So that's what it's about. So I did list the guitar, and I don't know if I believe his name is Renee. So
He's
if
on.
it, what is it?
He's on.
Oh, he's on. He's thinking about purchasing the guitar, and I don't want to get into our asking price, but I gave him I listed it dirt cheap. And then he said that he would give me a little extra if I delivered it to him. So this is the guitar. Hear it? Hear it, guys? That's the sound of death. Yep, it's a chord and a bad channel. Keep missing the harmonics. But hopefully that's a pretty good demonstration of the guitar. The tremolo works flawlessly. The frets, I did a tremendous amount of work. These frets are glass smooth.
Are they stainless?
Yes, these are stainless steel frets. At this particular time, Firefly's stainless steel was very, very hard. The last stainless steel fret I worked on with Firefly didn't seem like it was as good as material as they used on the second production run. This one, these were some tough frets to work on, especially to polish out. Really some tough stuff. I reworked all the ball ends, so this guitar is just butter smooth. Everything about it. The back of the neck it's probably 3 or 4 coats of tried and true on the back. So you can see it just barely has a sheen to it. And if you're not familiar with tried and true, it's a high-end furniture finish. And I find that it works really well for repelling the sweat if you're a sweater. It also hydrates the wood and seals the grain in the wood, but doesn't give it that lacquer feel, the sticky feel. So when you sweat on this neck, it does not become sticky. But it also protects it to where it's not going to turn black. If you play this guitar a lot, the finish does wear off. Okay, so maybe once a year, put a coat of tried and true on it. So all you do, if you go back and watch the video, you just take a dab, just a dab on your rag, wipe it on the back, and you keep rubbing it in until it gets dry. It'll feel like it's dragging. Okay, with the tried and true, and you work it in, just keep polishing, and eventually it will just start to glide like a piece of glass. That means it is dried up and it's worked like a wax almost. That's the best way of putting it, like a carnauba wax. When you put it on, then it'll get like scratchy and then it'll all of a sudden get smooth. That's the best way of describing it. I found that it just works really good on the back of a guitar necks. So it has several coats of that put on it. Everything has been adjusted, like the nut has been ground down to get the first fretted note as close as you can get it. These aren't perfect instruments, so as you fret, each note's going to be out just a little bit, but it is set up as well as this guitar could be set up. It has hip shot locking tuners on the guitar as well. So there's nothing on this guitar that needs to be upgraded. It has a great sound. That's a good sound. Just lost my pick.
What is it a copy of?
This is supposed to look like the Music Man Access, or the Sterling Access, or the PVHP. Eddie Van Halen pretty much come up with this body shape. So I guess Music Man was the first one to do the guitar for Eddie. Then Eddie left Music Man because at the time Peavey was just making outstanding instruments. So he went to Peavey after that. And the Peavey ones, in my opinion, they're the ones. If you look up the Music Man version and the Peavey version, the Peavey ones sell for more money. They were just phenomenal instruments. And then when he left Peavey, he was already in negotiations with Fender, so Fender would make the EVH brand. So it's a copy of that. And this one does have the tiger stripe top. If you can see it there, you see the striping. It's a very pretty guitar. Got a good sound. So hopefully that's enough.
Does it only have a volume control?
Yes, it's just a volume control and a three-way switch. So here's our center position. Now, this is one of the only guitars here at the house. When you put it in the center position, it still has a punch and a gain, but really makes it full sounding. Great sounding middle position.
Renee said thank you for playing it.
Yep, you're welcome. Here's our third position. And you can hear versus your bridge position. Go up to a third. It starts to get a little smack, like a quack to it. It's got a cool sound, but I love the center position probably, believe it or not, probably more than the bridge. This is the only guitar I've ever owned that I can actually say that. I love the center position. Well, you know I'm not playing a fake track when you hit a sour note like that. What'd you say, baby?
Niles is waiting on you to pull out an acoustic.
Oh, well, Niles, do we own an acoustic?
Yeah. Well, I already said that, but you know, I got the comment, if we don't see it, it doesn't exist.
I do have an acoustic. My acoustic guitar is a Breedlove.
Yep.
Breedlove. And it was supposed to be destroyed. The guitar was literally supposed to be destroyed. It was a warranty item through K&B Music in Martinsburg, West Virginia. And the neck on the guitar warped. He played professionally, and he put it on the stage. It was very cold out, and he evidently left the guitar out in the cold in the moving van. And when they brought it in, it was already hot on the stage, and the neck on the guitar just went. It twisted this way. Okay, not only did it warp this way, but the neck twisted, and the company warranted the guitar. They gave him a brand new one. So I was pretty good friends with the owner, and he let me take the guitar home and put it in a fixture. So I worked on the guitar. The guitar was in the fixture for a couple months, and I would hydrate the neck. I would put a lot of moisture in the neck using heat and humidifier. I'd run it up really, really, really humid, and dry the neck out, put twist in the neck and then dry it out. And I kept repeating the process and repeating the process. And I got the guitar in pretty decent. It still has a little bit of a, it's not perfect, but it's definitely playable. That's the only acoustic that I own. I did order a Firefly acoustic, and I ended up selling that to Short Bus. If you guys remember who Short Bus was, he used to come over quite a bit. He was learning how to play guitar. I sold him a Firefly Les Paul with a tremolo in it, and then sold him that Firefly acoustic. And to my knowledge, he still owns those. He got a little Nuix amp, and he was learning how to play. So I'm down just to that one acoustic. I have been looking for an acoustic. I've been looking at these Fenders. Fender seems to make a really inexpensive acoustic. I don't know. I don't know too much about acoustics. I know if I pick it up and I like the way it plays and it sounds good, that's good enough for me. What was that Yamaha that we played up there that I really liked?
Yeah.
I went up to Shandor Music and I played a Yamaha. I think it was like $250 Yamaha, and they had guitars all the way up to $1,200 in this one room. Now they've got their stupid expensive room that's locked off with their $5,000 and $6,000 acoustics. But the room I was in, I think they went up to like $1,200, $1,300. That little Yamaha for 250, it was like 250, 260 bucks. In my opinion, played as good as any of them in that whole area, and I thought it was the best sounding acoustic in the room. Now, granted, I was in the room with 1,200 and under, but it was 250, 260 bucks. And it played it great. It had a nice bottom end, smooth. It didn't sound ice picky like some cheaper acoustic sound. It had a really nice warm sound. So if I get one, I will most likely go back and buy a Yamaha, just based on me going in and messing around that day. They were really busy. I wanted to talk to the owner. So Linnell and I just went into the acoustic room, and I goofed off in there for about 30 minutes while the crowd in the main part of the store disappeared where I could talk to the owner. So I don't know what, you guys could probably help me out more than anything on that. What you have found is the best bang for your buck acoustic, because I do like playing acoustics. It's one of those things, guys. I know what I am. I'm an 80s, 90s guitar player. That's what I am. As much as I like my little Nashville Squire, I have guitars like that because I do like to play more bluesy, jazz stuff like my hollow body. I have guitars that scratch those itches, but my personal guitars, all day long. I want something obnoxious, stupid looking, that just rocks, that you can beat the tar out of. This is me. If it's obnoxious, it's a crazy pickup layout. It's got an abusive tremolo on it. I call this my budget Vandenberg. I love this guitar. I've got a yellow Kramer Beretta it's smack you in the face bright. It's an awesome guitar. I like this. I like the off skew Super Shredder. That's just me. When I was learning to play and I was listening to rock music on the radio and just this was the guitar. Super Shredders like my Kramer. I have an '86 Kramer Pacer Imperial. It's one of the trans colors that changes colors as it moves. It's all original. To me, that's just a guitar. When you pick it up and you play it, it makes you want to play it. It's got the feel. It's got the sound. JBs, man. Seymour Duncan JBs. If you're playing 80s, it's an awesome pickup. That and the EMG 89. I love the 89. Great pickup. So that's just me. That's what I go towards. So my Schecter, I mean, you're not my Schecter Mach 6. You're not. Most chicken pickers aren't going to buy a Schecter Mach 6. They might have one because they might be that chicken picker might be like me. You know, he's really decent at playing chicken picking, but then again he wants to turn around and play Adrian Vandenberg or some other hair artist. So he might have a Mach 6 hanging on his wall that he putters with and plugs into a Friedman, you know, because he likes doing it. But that's not his main thing. For me, the Mach 6, the Beretta, the Night Swan, guitars like that, that's my go-to. And then the Nashville Squire, which I love this guitar. I have the guitar because it makes me play differently. Okay, and I didn't know if I was going to bond with a guitar like this because I have issues hitting the volume knob with a standard Strat. So this guitar does my Strat and my Telecaster fix all in one, and I don't hit the knob, and I think it sounds good. I paid $329 for this guitar. Now it's went up to like $450 for this guitar. It's crazy. The last year and a half, guitar prices have just went through the roof. Fender just got another price increase. I reviewed the Fender Standard American. At the time, it was $599, and people poo-pooed on it because, you know, I kind of get it. You could get a 40th anniversary Squire. I think the 40th anniversary Squire I have sounds better than the standard Strat, and it's less money. Well, Fender raised the price of that guitar again. Now it's up to $630. So across the board, Fender raised all their prices here, I guess about a month and a half ago, and they had just done it 6 months prior to that, right before the standard Strat come out. They had just had a price increase. So it's crazy that all of them, it's across the board. LTD has raised their prices. Look at Epiphone. Holy mackerel. In the last 3 years, you know, the best Epiphone was right around $900, maybe $1,000. Now they're hitting $1,600-$1,700 for an Epiphone. I think their new line, I think it's about $1,200 for their new Les Paul. It's a nice Les Paul. I think you can still get the 60s and the 50s for in the $900 range, but I remember that guitar being $650. Now it's $900. So Epiphone has really increased their prices. But we also have to keep in mind when you buy a guitar like that, I want to go back, it's a good guitar. It has solid electronics on it. It's got solid tuning keys on it. You know, go to the store, find one that plays well. Everyone knows there's going to be a better one and an average one. Just go to the store and play them. You're gonna be happy with it. You know, especially in today's market, it's gotten expensive. So when I look at, I don't have them out here because I took them back in the bedroom. When I look at the RGA Linnell bought and the S model for under $500, they sound good, they play good, they got good tuners. That's a bargain. We sometimes forget. You know, we're so used to buying a Firefly. This Firefly right now, okay, is $299. That's what it's going to be. It's usually $287. You know, when it comes back in stock, and it's $30 shipping. Well, I know you can't buy this instrument and play it out of the box. The tremolo is no good on this guitar out of the box. You got to put money in it. So you end up spending $500 or $600, just like I did on this one, to get the guitar right. I mean, I proved that you can do it for less. You can get it to play well without spending any money. Okay? Resharpen the factory knife edges, but it's a soft metal. You got to change the base plate if you're going to keep the guitar. Okay? So if you're going to do it right, you're in the $550, $600 price range. And you've got all that work. So now the Epiphone doesn't look that bad. You know, they still have some models in the $600 range. But if you look at the $800 range, it's $200 more. And the RGA models, it's actually less once you figure your parts. And you don't have to put any time on it. So I was talking to Steve on Discord the other night about this. You know, it's up to you. If you like tinkering on guitars and you want to learn how to work on guitars, buying a budget guitar, that's the way to go. Go get yourself a Leo James on Amazon. Everyone knows that I could tell you the frets are going to be horrible on it. Practice. If you want one that you know you're going to have to do fret work, get a Leo James. You're going to be doing fret work on it. But if you tear it up, it's not a major loss. You can get one. I think they've got a Strat model or a Strat and a Tele model now for $140. Just buy it and tinker. Learn how to work on it. Make that your project guitar. You know, maybe get some different potentiometers. Learn, you know, what caps do. We just found out working on that Donner, changing caps. Big difference in the way your guitar sounds. It's cheap. A cap is, well, if you want to get technical and you want to be super picky, you can spend $30 on a cap. Why you would do that, I have no idea, but people do it. They hear a difference. They feel it's justifiable. Okay, me, I don't hear it. Maybe I'm not seasoned enough to hear it. Some people say, well, your amplifier's not good enough. I have nice amplifiers. That's not issue. Maybe I'm just tone deaf. But I don't see $30 for a cap. But $10 cap, you'd be surprised what that can do for these pickups. That Donner we just did a review on, and we did a video on, I think it was Monday night. It was Monday night. The guitar changed so much in the sound just by changing the cap. It's surprising. People go, oh, that thing sounds dark. You need different pickups. Before you do that, spend $10, put a cap on it. Buy a .022, a .033, you know, maybe a .015, maybe buy a 250 potentiometer. And if you're not sure, let the wires hang out. Okay? Let the wires hang out of the guitar with two little gator clips. Put your potentiometer on, clip it on with your two gator clips, play it, change your potentiometer. When you get the one that you think's right, solder that one in place. You don't have to solder every one of them in place. You know, solder a lead on it, use two little gator clips, try it out, see what it sounds like. Yeah, does the lead of the wire change? Yeah, it's going to change a little bit. But when you solder it to that potentiometer, there's going to be very little difference. So doing it outside the guitar will save you some time. And you can play with it. I saw guys do a 5-way switch. They have 5 different different caps, and they go to ground. So this will be the .047, the .033, the .022, the you know, bap, 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 bap. I don't, you know, I get it, you know, if you want that, but you can do that as well. Play around with it before you just start throwing money down the drain on pickups. Maybe just change the cap. The point in this is you got to do you, if that makes sense. If that's what you like and you enjoy it, go for it. But if you're on a budget, that's the big thing. You don't want to give bad information to especially, let's say if it's a mother and father wanting to buy an instrument for their son. You don't want to lead them down that road and tell them something's a decent guitar. Give to that kid. That's the next generation of musicians. They have to look at it, no matter what it is, they have to like it. If they don't like the way it looks, they're not going to want to pick it up. But it takes more than looks. Once they get it in their hand, they're like, oh, this thing is cool. It has to play good. So that's why we do the reviews that we do. It takes more than the looks. Some of the guitars, they're great beginner guitars. Can you make them more than that? Sure you can. You can make them a professional instrument if you want to put the time and the money in them. At what point does that audience go, okay, that's enough. I want to buy one out of the box that's good that I don't have to modify. What is a good starting price for a guitar like that? Is it 500, 600? So we try to touch base on all these, okay? We've done some high-end guitars too, up to $2,000. We're getting ready to do a more expensive guitar. Not everyone can afford $2,600 for a guitar. I've said this before. Some people consider that a budget guitar. If you're buying Murphy Lab guitars, that's a budget guitar. For some people, like me, that's a dream guitar. To spend that kind of money on a guitar, that's a dream. So, guitars like this that we pick up just every once in a while, I feel that this is a great instrument. I'm even going to say, even at $430, it's still a good instrument. Okay, the pickups sound good, it plays nice, it's got a nice finish on it. It's still a good buy at that price point. Is it as good as it was last year before Fender hiked up their prices? No. But it's still a good instrument. The tuning keys are good, the pickups are good, it doesn't need fretwork. You know, I have done nothing to this guitar. I bought it, I brought it home, I play it. That's a win. In my opinion, I paid $329 for it. That's a win. That's the same price that I paid for my Firefly here. Okay. This is our next project guitar, guys. Right here. And I'll show you why it's our next project guitar. And there's a certain YouTube channel just did a review on this guitar about 2 weeks ago, telling you that it was the greatest thing since sliced cheese. Well, if you like your sliced cheese being out of tune, then he's correct. That is awful. It doesn't even come close to returning to zero. I love Floyd Rose. And before everyone goes, oh, it's a Floyd Rose clone. No, it's not. That's a Floyd Rose. So Floyd Rose sold themselves to the devil and just put their name on a turd. That's what they did. This is cheaper than the Floyd Rose Special. Even the Special, in my opinion, can be a good bridge. It just doesn't last long because it's soft metal. This monstrosity that they've put their name on, it doesn't say licensed, it's a Floyd Rose. This is just a money grab because they saw these budget guitars being made with cloned Floyd Roses and they wanted some of that money. So they made this tremolo. That's sad. I have yet to play. I've played 4 of these guitars with this bridge on it, with that series Floyd Rose. Not one of them has been worth anything. Now, something I will say, I think Firefly, this pickup that they've chose to use in this guitar, it sounds good. Oh, that's awful. If you don't play with the tremolo bar, the guitar plays great. But if you plan on even touching this bar and looking at it cross-eyed, it's going to go out of tune. That's not awful. That's past awful. So we're gonna fix this guitar. We're gonna build a Avery bridge for it, as you guys like to call it. We're gonna make it the way it should have come from the factory. And you can look at the back of the neck on this guitar. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. It's such a shame. Firefly, I've done a lot of reviews for you. I know you watch my channel. Build me this guitar without the piece of crap bridge. You could charge me $3.99 for it. Okay? That gives, you could put a Godo in it. Just you can still make the same amount of money. Build me this guitar and put a true Goto in it. And I'm telling you, at $3.99, you will sell the donkey snot out of this thing. You can make some pink one, make a red one. Just build this guitar, Goto, and put me a single coil right here. Not in the neck position, not in the center position, right there. Charge $450 for it. If you could put it at the $430 price point with that pickup here and a Goto, I guarantee you, you won't keep them in stock. But you don't have to listen to me. I'm not even a YouTuber. I'm just a CNC programmer that does woodworking, that plays guitar. But you build me a guitar like this with a Godo. You can use this pickup. This pickup's fine. Put me a nice dual rail right there, single coil. Yep, all day long. But they won't do it. I don't know why. I don't understand. I don't. The Firefly on these guitars, they were at the $229 price point. I can kind of get that. But when this guitar shipped to you is running $310 and it comes to you with this awful tremolo that will not hold tune at all. I mean, listen. That's bad. Rant's over. I've ranted over this guitar and a couple other Fireflies quite often.
Is that guitar going to get a Juke bridge or a Devastator bridge?
Well, I've got two ways I can do it, guys. Instead of doing the modified Floyd Rose, I thought about just ordering a Godo for $100. You can get the Godo with the locking nut for $150. Now, it's got the smaller block, okay? It wouldn't be as good as the one I built with the big massive block and stainless steel saddles, but it's a one-stop shop. So $150, I get the bridge, the spring, the claw, and this. And everyone claims the Godo's a decent bridge. And you can get hot-rodded parts for the Godo. You can get the upgraded block for it. You can get other things for it. So I might go down the Godo route. That might be something the channel hasn't done it. Because other people may not want to go and source a base plate, then source the saddles, and then source the springs. So maybe someone, they don't really feel comfortable. They feel like they could switch it, but they don't necessarily know all the components and feel comfortable enough to order all the parts. So maybe I'll just order a Godo kit that comes with everything and slap that in it. I'm sure it would be fine. So I was thinking about that. If not, it would probably be something in between, because we had to go back and work on Devastator's bridge. We tried to reuse the Firefly saddles, and now this one's not doing it. The strings aren't slipping in the saddle. But on his model, the only thing we used out of that stock Firefly Floyd Rose bridge was the saddles. Put it all back together, and the block was not holding it. The strings were slipping. So I had to tear the whole thing back apart and put better saddles in it. So I think I've learned my lesson. If you're going to do it, just do it. There's no part of this bridge or the Firefly No Name Floyd Rose bridge that's worth using. There just isn't. There's no part of that bridge that's worth using. Just start over. I hate to say that. If you get one and it does hold tune, save your money. Just start saving now, because it's not going to last. It's very soft, cheap metal. Just, I thank the Lord that you got one that does work, but it's not going to stay that way. For the most part, I don't think I've received a Firefly guitar with a Floyd Rose bridge on it that's worked right. Not one. And I love Firefly. I think they're great guitars when you get the right ones, if that makes sense. But just count on replacing the bridge. I think this is a cool looking guitar. I'm just calling out that other channel right now. I'm sorry. There's no way you bought this guitar and it stays tuned. It's not possible. So, I think we can fix it. If someone wants to purchase this guitar after it's fixed, it will be as good as this one, okay, and as good as the one that I sent Devastator, and the one that we did for Smoothie Buns, and several other subscribers that I've done tremolos for. You can beat the snot out of my tremolos. They will hold tune. And they cost less than the German USA Floyd Rose. And it's far better than if you just bought the USA or the Schaller. That's about $300. You can build one of mine with aftermarket parts for right around $260. If you want to do the upgraded claw and go just ape nuts with it, you can do it for about $310. And that's stupid quality. But it's going to be better than the USA or the Schaller. So if someone wants it, let me know, and that may determine which direction we go with the bridge. Like I said, I paid $300 for the guitar. So again, this channel is more about helping you guys. So the super chat money and all that kind of offsets loss, if that makes sense. So if we have to put $200 in this guitar and I sell it for $3, that's where the super chat money comes in. Okay, that allows me to fix the guitar, give it to a subscriber. They get the guitar the way it should have come from the factory right, and then frees up the original $300 again to purchase another guitar. Then it just kind of does this number again. The super chat money funds the project to fix it, then we sell it, and it's just how, it's the only way to make it work, if that makes sense. Where are we at time-wise, guys? I don't even know where we're at. Oh, look at that. See, my little squirrel brain nailed it. I was within 20 seconds of hitting 1 hour for our break. If you're not familiar with the channel, and you're new here, I see we're going from like 32 to 24 to 32. It's kind of going all over the place tonight. I want to thank everyone for coming in. You don't have to be subscribed to this channel to chat. I want you to come in, join in. If you've got a different point of view than the one that I have, that's great. Put it in the chat conversation, put it in the conversation. We want to have that conversation, Even if you got a guitar and I reviewed it and it was good, you got a bad one, I still want to hear it, because that point of view gives me more information, gives other people more information. And when someone asks me in the future, I could say, well, this is the experience I had, but I hear from subscribers and people that left comments, they had this experience with it. So that's what I'm wanting. I'm also want to earn your subscription. I want you to join the channel. Go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, when you hit all, you got to hit all with the bell. That way you get notified. I'm not going to blow you up like some of these other channels releasing a video every day or every 15 minutes like some do. It's maximum 3 videos a week. We don't do BS content. I don't upload a video just because I have to upload a video to appease the YouTube gods. When we do a video, there's content, there's subject, there's matter there. Whether it's this live stream and we're talking, or doing a review, or fixing a guitar, there's substance there. So please consider subscribing. And the reason I got on this tangent is we always take a 5-minute break in the middle of the stream. That allows people to hit the restroom, get something to drink, take a little break, gives my voice a rest. So again, think about subscribing, and we're going to be right back in about 5 minutes. And if I hit the right button here, I'm pretty sure it's this one. All right, guys. Technically, I'm not done my break, but that's okay. Um, During the break, look at my hair, guys, from wearing the headphone set. You guys get headphone set hair? That's what I got right now. So I'm going to put these back on so it doesn't look like I got little devil horns. That's what happens when you wear these things that long. Um, the break allows me to kind of go back and actually talk with Donnell a little bit over some of the topics that were gone over that I kind of missed. So, uh, the certain person that loves the guitar that won't stay in tune that we went over, if I look at my analytics on YouTube as far as gaining subscribers and losing subscribers, on average, according to YouTube, I probably lose 4 subscribers a week, but I gain, okay, maybe 10. So it goes up 6, but I lost 4. I think a lot of it, I used to think it was something I was doing. I don't necessarily think it's something that I've done, or maybe they thought I was one way and that they come to find out the channel is actually a different than what they initially thought. I think some of it is some people just move on, if that makes sense. And I kind of feel that way. There was several channels that I used to subscribe to that I am no longer subscribed to. And it has nothing to do with me feeling that they're shills or anything else. It's just I've moved on past that. I used to be a big fan. There was a channel on YouTube. He worked on old Honda motorcycles. I've got 2 '79 Honda CB650s that I love. They're cafe bikes, and I loved this guy's channel. But after 2 or 3 years, I just found myself really not watching it anymore. It had nothing to do with his content. He was still doing great content on Hondas and some Kawasaki's and some other things. I just moved on. And I did unsubscribe to it because I was getting notifications and I just didn't really watch it anymore. I started riding my BMW more, so it was content that I didn't, that's one. Woodworking channels. Everyone knows that I'm a big woodworker. I used to be subscribed to several woodworking channels. And they've gotten to the point where they're almost like the guitar tubers. They're no longer working on wood projects. They're pawning Festool and DeWalt and whatever brand wants to show off their tool. Festool's bad for that. Constantly, this one guy, he's super talented, does great woodworking projects, does a lot of epoxy tables, but he's always plugging and reviewing Festool, and I'm not there for that. I'm more curious about what epoxy is he using? What's the cure time? Is he having problems with air pockets? And I desubscribed just because the content went from him making really cool projects to, hey, I got a new Festool or I got a new whatever it is. And he just does that. So I think we do move on from channels. So evidently, the person that loved that guitar, they had, in the chat, they had lost some subscribers. I think we do that. YouTube, we move on. I look at my subscriber count. I've been doing this for over 2 years now. And should I have more subscribers? Probably not. Because my audio and my video is only so good. I do not do clickbait titles. If you look, every week I've got the exact same boring thumbnail. There's no clickbait there. I'm not saying we're trashing Leo James. We're going to trash Marshall. We're going to trash Kramer. or whatever. Or we're going to trash the new, whatever that new Boss pedal is. Everyone hates the new Boss pedal. I think there's a place for it. Is it is Boss doing something they've never done before? Yeah, but some of those pedals you can't get anymore. Or is it going to be as good as the original if you have the original? Probably not. It's a digital recreation of an analog pedal. Is it going to get you there? Is it going to get you close? Sure. Now, everyone knows I see it in AutoCAD. I love AutoCAD. I am 100% an AutoCAD user, even though it's harder to draw in AutoCAD. That's what I learned on. But when you get AutoCAD now, it's not yours. It's only a license for 1 year. These companies know they have to make money. So they've made it to where you buy it and then it just dies in a year. So Bosch sees it. Bosch sees it in these modelers that the firmware updates it. How can they make money? If I sell you something, how can I continuously make money? You may not like it, but that's the future. The future is some type of modeling platform or computer amp that you just download updates to. And they're going to charge you for it, just like software, just like AutoCAD does. Every year, it's $1,600 for AutoCAD. Well, that's just AutoCAD. Now I have to have a CAM program. That's another $1,600. So that's $3,200 a year so I can draw a component and write CAM. That has nothing to do with the CNC or anything else. That's just what I have to have so I can do the work. Okay? And AutoCAD's not stupid. So as they make changes, like I built the computer that I have was built for AutoCAD. AutoCAD ran on one core. It wanted an extremely fast core. So I built this computer 4 years ago. It's 4.2 gigahertz standard 4-core. But all 4 cores run at 4.2 gigahertz. That's all I needed because that's what AutoCAD wanted. So I put a Quattro card, 5600 in it. Is it good for gaming and doing what I do on YouTube? Absolutely not. But it's good for modeling. It holds a tremendous, I've got more RAM on that than any gaming video card because it has to store all that information as the model turns. It's not frames per second, it's about information. In a video game, it only models what you can see. They've gotten smart. You've got a whole map. It's not modeling the whole map, it's only going to model that one little part. Well, my graphics card has to model the whole thing. As you rotate that model in X-ray mode, everything is rolling. So it's great for CAD, but bad for video. So when AutoCAD updates every year, again, now they're using multiple cores. Now they're doing this. Now you have to have a special math coprocessor. It's all designed to make whatever you have become inferior to a certain point. And I say that because everyone talks about old rack gear. There's nothing, old rack gear, what are you talking about? Look at a modeler. Look at these plugins. What are they modeling? They're modeling exactly what I have in that rack. If it's that bad, how come you're modeling after it? If it sucked that bad, how come you're making a model of it? I'm just putting it out there for all you modeler guys out there that say modeling is the best thing since sliced bread and it's far superior to tube amps and the 80s processors and compressors and reverbs. How come you're modeling those? How come you're modeling that 8-bit, that 16-bit reverb unit? If it was so bad, how come you're modeling it? How come you have a 64-bit system, but you're modeling a 16-bit reverb? I'll tell you why. Because it had a sound. And that sound is achieved by the limitations of the time. They did workarounds to make that unit do certain things, even though it was only running at 8 bits or 16 bits. That's what gives it the sound. The high noise floor where they had to go in and put noise reduction circuits in it to clean it up, that gave it a sound. Yeah, you lost some fidelity, but it gave it a sound. So now you're modeling it. I think we kind of lose track of that. I still use a DBX 286S on my microphone.
Jupe said not superior, Avery, just cheaper to buy.
Well, is it? I can buy that SGX 2000 right now with an X15 foot controller on reverb for $500. That's a lot cheaper than Fax Effects. I can get that. I can get me a quad-reverb. I could even get, let's say, an Alesis quad-reverb. Let's say you want to get a TC Electronics, a really nice reverb unit. Get them all day long for $800-900. Get yourself a Sonic Maximizer. You can build that 80s rig for less money than the Axe Effects. That's old stuff. So is it really cheaper when you go down the professional route? I think it's, believe it or not, it's about the same. It really is. Now, when you get into modeling like this little Yamaha amp, yes, it is 100% cheaper. You can buy this amp for $320. It sounds awesome.
He meant your whole rack system.
Oh yeah, there's $8,000 there. I get it. But is it dead? Is it dead because of the cost? Or is it dead because it's just not made anymore? You know, Behringer just released a compressor, and it's just like the what is it, Nerve or whatever it makes. It's like $800 compressor. That compressor is modeled right after a compressor that's still made that's $3,000 or $4,000. Is it as good as the other one? Okay, maybe it's 90% as good, but it's a quarter of the price. So with today's technology and math code processors, can you imagine if a manufacturer made a modern day version of the Purple Monster that Digitech made, or the ART SGX 2000? Give me a tube preamp with a solid state preamp and a full multi-effects processor. You're telling me that they couldn't build that for $2,000?
Kurt said modeling eliminates all the wires of the rack and makes it less noise, also easier to take a small pedal to a gig than a rack monster.
Yeah, I agree. My point is, why couldn't they do that just like what I just said?
Niles has to go.
Oh, okay, Niles. Good. Thank you for coming in, man. So if the ability's there, it's still there because you can get the XFX 3. Okay, so, why not take that unit, okay, and give me a nice tube preamplifier built into it. Give me the ability to have power amp simulation and cab simulation to where I can go right to my interface, but if I want, I can also go right to my tube power amp to a 4-speaker enclosure. It can be done, and I guarantee you it could be done in the $2,000 price point. It would sell. It would. It comes down to what's on the market and what people are willing to pay. There's a huge gap, like this little Yamaha that we were playing earlier. For $350, if you listen to this thing, that's what we were playing earlier. So you got a $350 amplifier. So that's a $350 amp, guitar, into that little Yamaha to the interface. When you look at the Axe Effects and the cost difference, or even a Line 6, I think there's a spot there missing. There really is. Now,
There-
Kurt really helped me. Plugging this little amplifier into the computer and being able to change the settings on the computer really opened this little amplifier up. There's so many settings that you can do that you can't do just on the top, but it's still usable from the top. That's what I liked about it. But I've got a better sound out of this little $350. I've said it many times. This is a stupid amp for this kind of money. And you're right. It's easy. It transports easy. And I always say it. I always tell guys, I'm not going to take my rack to a gig. I'm going to take my little Line 6 Stomp or wherever my other pedal I just bought. I don't know where it is. Somewhere over there. I just bought a black edition Line 6. It was like $130. Come to find out, it has amp sims built in it. I could take it, the guitar, come right out of that and go front of house. I kind of tinkered around with it. I don't think it sounds as good as this Yamaha does, direct to the interface, but I could literally put it in a gig bag with my guitar and a cable and go play.
When are they getting a bass review?
I need to do a bass, don't I? Bass is an instrument that I really haven't been playing that much, guys, since I started the YouTube channel. So I would probably not be a very good bass guitar reviewer. But we do have, if you guys, well, I think it's buried. I don't know if you guys have even actually seen my bass. I think it's buried. How about this?
You
This-
can show it to them Saturday with the acoustic.
Yeah, this coming Saturday we'll break out the bass guitar. I will put new strings on it. Ooh, that only gives me tomorrow night. We will at least show the bass this coming Saturday, and maybe that'll give me an excuse to put the strings have been on that thing for over 4 years because I don't think I've played it since I've started YouTube. That's the sad part. That I have a very nice bass. I need to get it out and play. That's my bass amp right there. That's an SWR. If you're not familiar with SWR, they made some really kick butt bass amplifiers. I have that, and I have a Squier custom shop bass. Yes, Squier did have a custom shop. This is a great playing guitar. I do believe during the break, Linnell was saying Renee is going to buy the guitar on Saturday. So everybody, you can say goodbye. It's hard for me to sell it because, like I said, it's what started the channel. But it's time for it to go somewhere where someone can enjoy all the work that I put in it, and someone else can get some joy out of it, if that makes sense. It's a monster. It needs to go to a good home where it's going to be played. So, if you didn't see it, I want to show you a close-up look of the claw. You can see that super heavy-duty claw and the super big block and the springs. It's a beast. So, like I was pretty sure that he was going to get the guitar, so I went ahead and put new strings on it, got it all freshened up. I cleaned it up. I adjusted tweaked the truss rod on it just a little bit, cleaned the fretboard, cleaned up the frets, just give it a really good bath, hydrated the fretboard, cleaned up the tremolo. It's amazing, how dust can get in those Floyd Rose tremolo. But I took a toothbrush and went in there and cleaned all the dust out of all the little saddle grooves. So it's all clean and shiny. So it's ready to go to its new home. He's going to love it. Oh, I see we got Vox came in. Good to see you, Vox. We did see, I saw a new person let's see. Oh, the Unknown Writer's in. Good to have him. Blue Mox is in here. I didn't even call out everybody. I've seen so many new names. There was somebody.
You saw Angelo.
Yeah, Angelo. So hopefully he's new. Hopefully Angelo will subscribe to the channel. We are trying to grow it. Like I said, I think our channel growth has been a little on the slow side, but I think the channel growth is probably where it should be, considering the video image quality and the audio quality of the channel. You can't grow too quick because you need to learn as you go. If I look at my first video and the production quality and how I spoke, I've gotten better. So I believe the more YouTube we do, the better we become at doing this, at facilitating a live. I mean, even go back and watch my first live. I was on Addicted to Gear. He comes on Sundays, and at the time I was there pretty much every Sunday. And he was like, "Oh, I saw your live last night," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that was a train wreck." He goes, "Oh, it wasn't that bad." It was pretty bad. So I've gotten better. So I think that's YouTube. Everyone goes, "Oh, they don't push my videos. They don't push." Maybe it's something that they're winging you. You're like under the YouTube wing. I'm just throwing it out there, and we become better, and sometimes it throws out a bone. Like there was about a month and a half window where we went up like 300 and some subscribers really, really quick. And I think the algorithm kind of sees that. And it sees that it levels off and it goes, okay, that's about all we want to do right now. That's what his channel can kind of handle. That's what my little squirrel brain is telling myself. Because it does. It takes a lot of work. We did a review on Monday night of a Donner. I recorded everything that I did to that guitar, okay? And I'm going to start sitting down and doing video editing on that, and we're going to release it. It just takes so much time to do it. That's why we started doing live reviews and live shows. I don't
Ted
have to
has
go
to
back
go.
and edit. Yeah, hon?
Ted has to go.
Oh, okay, Ted.
He's
So-
having internet issues.
Oh, well, we have internet issues here all the time, man. But be safe on your trip. I heard you're out, and then you're back home for a little while, and then October's the last one or something. I think Linnell was saying. So you need to be safe, buddy. So that's how I'm kind of seeing YouTube. Like I said, I want to revert back to how the channel was. I think I was filtering myself too much. And I need to just get back to doing what I set out to do to start with. And it was just to offset other channels, if that makes sense. You guys are family and friends. I can honestly say that. Just like I was worried, what happened to certain members because I hadn't seen them for a little while in Discord. They were having some health issues. So when I didn't see them for a week and a half, I was like so resolved or relieved when I saw them on Discord. I'm not going to mention any names, but I was worried about them. I knew that they were having some issues, and when I didn't see them, I thought the worst. So I consider you guys family, especially those that go to Discord and I see on a nightly basis. You guys, you might not see me post, but I'm there every night. And I read the posts, and I sit back and I watch what's going on. Sometimes you don't necessarily need me to facilitate. That's your all space. That's what it was there for, if that makes sense. And it gives us something like this every night of the week. And I know Searching for Tone went in there and posted something about one of his videos, and he was like, "Oh, I thought this was mine." I'm like, it's everybody's. It's not mine. It's not Devastator's. It's not Kurt's. It's not Birdman's. It's everybody's. Just go there, have fun, post what you found or post what you think. Or even if, we have different rooms. Like if you know another YouTube channel you find interesting, we have YouTube channel suggestion room. You go there, post your suggestion. of another channel that you think does great content that just doesn't get the love. We've got a room for that. We've got a room where you can just kind of go in, plug in your guitar, and play for everybody. We got a voice chat room. Then we got a general discussion room. So there's a room that covers a bunch of different things. So when you go there, check it out. And if I haven't talked about it during this stream, right there in that case, I definitely want to grab this real quick. I see we got 27 people. Let me grab the guitar. If you would have told me 2 months ago that it would be difficult to give a guitar away, I would have said you were crazy. That giving a guitar away would be easy. Everyone wants a free guitar. Well, that's evidently not the case, because I have a magic number on how many people I want entered in to win this guitar, and I think it's a fair number, okay? Here's the guitar we're giving away. This is a Fender Player. Beautiful guitar, humbucker single. And the really only one real rule, the rule you have to be publicly subscribed to this channel. Now to enter, you do have to go to Discord and you go to the opt-in room. That's the opt-in, the free guitar giveaway. You need to put your name there and what you go by on YouTube. And Devastator is going to verify that you are publicly subscribed to this channel, and then you're entered to win. And when we hit that magic number, and believe me, that magic number is not really high. It's a really small number. Really, really stupid good odds to win an $800 guitar. It's a beautiful guitar. And if you win it, I'm going to ask you what your setup preferences are. We're going to set the guitar up, and we're going to send it to you. We are going to do a review on this guitar. So we're going to check the frets, see if there's anything at all wrong with this guitar, and whatever we find in the review will be resolved before you receive it. So when you receive this guitar, it should be a spot-on instrument. And we're doing that thanks to everyone that you see in the chat. If you're on a phone, it's probably below you. If you're on a computer, it's going to be on the right. So thank anyone that's given a super chat here. That's who paid for this guitar. Some of them may not be subscribers that gave super chats. I think they all are, but I don't think you have to be a subscriber to give a super chat either. You don't have to be a subscriber to chat. If you're not subscribed and you're watching, type something in, say hello. I don't believe in that, just like you've gotten no commercials. If you're watching this live, there's no commercials. One super chat pays me more than what YouTube's going to give me anyway. So it doesn't matter. So if you want to enter to win this guitar, be publicly subscribed, go over to the Discord channel and go to the opt-in room, put your name in to be entered to win it. I'm really surprised that the guitar is still here. If you would have told me this 2 months ago, I would have said, nah, that thing will be gone in no time. So it is still here because we have not hit the magic number yet. And that just blows my mind. I can't, for the life of me, I can't understand why that is. But that's okay.
Devastator's got a good point. Said you do need to do a review on it. That maybe that's what the holdup is.
Oh, okay. How about we do a review on the guitar next Thursday? Everybody good for that? Next Thursday night we do a review on the Fender Player. So put it in your calendar. Next Thursday night, we are going to review the giveaway guitar. And keep in mind, whatever we find, we're going to resolve before the winner gets it. I'm not going to send out a substandard instrument, okay? Again, I want to give a plug to Shenandoah Music. They made it possible. We had $500 to spend, and Shenandoah Music sold me the guitar at a little bit below cost because it actually went home with someone and they didn't bond with it, and they have a 35-day return policy, If you don't like it, you can bring it back and exchange it for something else. And that's what the guy did. The guitar stayed in their store. Then the player twos come out and they didn't know what to do with it. So it just kind of sat back there. So it's a brand new instrument and it needs a home. So they worked a deal out with me. I got it a little bit below their cost. It saves them a little bit and it gives our channel a much nicer instrument for $500. We didn't want to spend more than $500 for a giveaway guitar.
Birdman says it needs a black switch tip, needed badly.
Yeah, needs it badly. Well, that's up to the individual. I like the cream. So I just want to say thanks to Shenandoah Music. And if I haven't said it lately, you guys need to support your local music store. I'm not saying that I buy everything at my local store. I don't. I've bought things off Guitar Center. I've bought things off Sweetwater. Everyone knows the issues I've had with both. Guitar Center, Sweetwater, Amazon. Your local music center is there. It's where we get our strings and other things. I like going on a Saturday, seeing the local musicians that gather there. Plus, I'm really good friends with the owners of the store. It's the meeting and the talking. I think that's why the YouTube channel is. We enjoy that, getting with other musicians, watching them play, hearing what they bought or what they're doing to their rig. That connection that we get when we go to our local stores. So support your local music store. In my case, that's Shenandoah Music. Great guys over there, and they made that possible. They also have let me bring guitars home for review. So a shout out to those guys. If you're in the Shenandoah Valley, definitely reach out to them. They're good cats there. Small store with a lot of product. They've got a lot of product in that little store. So are we missing anything, hon, as far as the chat?
No, I don't think so.
No. All right, well, I guess I don't know if we have any posts on the Discord, but I am going to go to the questions and topics. We do. We have Warheart Arts. Could a stream question? What should we know about mixing different pickup types? I'm thinking about Alnico 2 in the neck with an Alnico 5 in the bridge. Again, this, if you don't know the Discord, we have a questions and topics for live stream. That's where I'm getting this particular question. Pickups, you can mix ceramics with an Alnico 5. I've seen guys mix passive and active. You can do anything that you want. I'm not a, don't get me, I like Alnico 5s, but I like Alnico 2s too. I also like ceramic pickups. My guitar that I've been playing for a lot of live streams, the Ibanez RGA, that guitar has ceramic pickups on it. Could you take that ceramic pickup and stick a Alnico 2 in the neck? Sure you could. If I was going to do something like that and I wanted to kind of mix match, I think before I say that, I think we expect Alnico 5 to sound a certain way. I think we got to not think that way. An Alnico 2 or a ceramic could sound hotter than an Alnico 5. They could. It depends on the windings and the strength of the magnets, the length of the poles. There's so many different things. The gauge of the wire. There's so many things that changes a pickup, if that makes sense. But just going by the root thought of what an Alnico 5 sounds like, I would probably do like an Alnico 5 in the bridge and maybe an Alnico 2 up in the neck position. I would probably do that. The 2 is going to be probably a little warmer. And I hate to even say that because it's kind of a false notion to say an Alnico 2 is going to be warmer than a 5, if that makes sense. If you've got pickups that you like I like a Seymour Duncan JB, okay? I want to mix that with the DiMarzio DiMarzio makes like a hot rail. It's got 2 blades on it, but it's a single coil. It's something distortion. I think that a JB and that single coil dual rail in the pickup configuration I like, which is I like humbucker here and a single between the center and the neck position. So I bought that DiMarzio pickup. I was going to modify one of my Kramer Berettas, JB, and then the DiMarzio right here in this position. I thought that would be a good sounding combination. 2 totally different manufacturers, but I think it would be a good combination. You just got to play around with it. I think the EMG 89 is a good combination. So instead of doing an 81-85, I would do an EMG 89, not an 89R or an 89X, just an EMG 89, and I would do like an 85 here or an 89R in the neck position. I would probably do the 85 and the 89. Or I would do the 89 and an SA single coil. The SA single coils are okay. That they're not my favorite. There was what was the guitar player from Pink Floyd? He had a signature set of EMGs. If I could find that metal position EMG that was revoiced, I would probably do that one. I think that was better than the standard SA. You do anything you want with pickups. It's what's the old saying? It's seasoned to taste. So not only pickups, but look at your cap, look at the potentiometer that you're using. If one pickup, if someone says it's naturally bright, you can change your cap and throw a little bit more of that to ground. You can balance that out. Like if you put the guitar together and the bridge is just too bitey and bright, change your cap. You know, you want it to where it not only sounds good by itself, but when you mix it with your other pickup, that they sound and work well together. And you can have 2 different caps on those pickups. You can wire it that way. You can have it to where you're running a different capacitor on that neck pickup than you are on your bridge pickup, if that makes sense. You can also use 2 different value pots. You can use a double stack pot on your volume if you have one volume controlling both. You can have the 250 potentiometer part of that going to a single coil and the 500 going to your humbucker. So there's so many variables. That's why I say seasoned to taste, if that makes sense. Hopefully Warhard is in here and he's catching that his question was answered. I think I saw him in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here or not, but that's who posted the question on Discord. If someone has something to add to that, if you've got the question that he had up, I'm going to go back to it. He's talking about doing an Alnico 2 neck with an Alnico 5 in the bridge. If anyone else has that combination, post something, let him know what you think of that combination, or if there's something that he needs to be notified or told about. Maybe something quirky that combination does. If you've got that combination, post in the chat window so Warhart can see it. We are about product information here, so we're trying to help. And that's the only question that I see on the Discord. I went back just to double check to make sure that there was no other questions. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I think we are caught up, guys. Imagine that. Now, Devastator can clear that out, so then we'll be up for Saturday night stream. So any questions that you guys want to go to Discord and put in there for Saturday night stream, go ahead and stick it in there, and we can discuss it on Saturday night. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to call the stream because we've touched base on everything, and my throat's getting sore. That's when I know I'm done, when my throat starts hurting, guys. I apologize. But if you're familiar with the channel, we're going to do 5-minute closing chat. And, something before I go. Before the stream started, someone started this horrible rumor that we wasn't going to have the stream tonight. I don't know where that come from. I was just running a little late, but I usually try to get on YouTube and get the room up an hour before, but tonight it was about 45 minutes before. So, but it doesn't send out notifications until a half an hour before the stream anyway. So that's something that needs to be resolved. If you're interested in helping out the channel, we are looking for more help. Things just with video editing, setting up streams, and just product information. When we go to review a guitar, researching certain things, we are looking for help. Someone that can kind of help out do some of those things. Because Devastator runs our Discord. So everyone say thank you, Devastator. He's the little guy in there with the blue wrench. He does a lot. He does a tremendous amount for this channel. He moderates the chat along with Linnell, and he 100% takes care of our Discord channel. So I want to reach out and say thank you so much for all the time and effort that he's put into that. But we are looking for someone that can do some video editing, that's good at that can help me do some things, and someone that can help set up streams and kind of take the channel to the next level. Anyway, guys, we're going to end the stream right here and do our 5-minute closing chat, and I hope to see everybody Saturday night. And remember, we're going to review the Fender this coming Thursday. So if you're on Discord, I'll most likely see you Friday night, and then I'll probably see you Saturday as well. Thanks, guys. I got to figure out which window does what. I'm pretty sure it's this one.